Hello there, welcome back to Doctor Who Retrospective. I'm Scotty. You're not. This is the last one for the night. It's getting late. I'm gonna go lay down after this, but we're gonna talk about Series 3, Episode 2, the Shakespeare Code, or what was originally titled Love's Labor's One. Love Labor's One. Love's Labor One. Which is based on a lost Shakespeare play, and that does come into play in this episode. Okay, so before I get into this, just so you know, I paid attention, but not a lot. There's some things I'm gonna miss a little bit. It's just this is one that I don't care for. Just Shakespeare. I've never been too big on Shakespeare, although technically I've seen movies based on his works because The Lion King is based on Hamlet. The Lion King 2 is based on Romeo and Juliet, and then you have the Lion King 1.5, which is based on another play wherein two characters were actually in Hamlet the entire time. Yeah, that's all there. Those are the ones I know. And I'll tell you right now, I'm still waiting for them to make Hamlet starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Come on. They teased us in Last Action Hero. He's probably too old to do that now. Mercutio killed my brother. Or you killed my father. Big mistake. Come on. Anyway, so the Doctor and Martha travel all the way back in time and meet William Shakespeare. And a story about witches that aren't really witches, because at this point in time, Doctor Who was taking any kind of fantastical element like ghosts. They're aliens. So now here it's witches. They're aliens. They're Carianites, as we find out. They introduced the concept of words being like power. So when the Doctor mentions the name Carianite, the little lady disappears. This opening thing, I don't know. From the opening scene, I'm just kind of put off because there's this guy reciting stuff to this girl that he wants to get laid, and then it turns out she's one of the witches, and they kill him. So this life force, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. They do it a couple times in this episode, but yeah. So the Doctor and Martha arrive, and like, what I like about Legends of Tomorrow is that they would address when Jax, who is of color, would show up. Like, there's an whole episode where they go back to the time of slavery, and where Jax and Amaya are both African, of color. They're treated differently. Here, in the land of Shakespeare, in the 1600s, Martha is there, and she's just treated as any other. I mean, they do have an episode later, two-parter, where she's sort of like a maid, but I don't know. They don't really address it here. Just that Shakespeare hitting on her the whole time, which, And so they show up and they watch Shakespeare perform Love Labor's Lost. And he announces a sequel called Love Labor's One, which is the legendary Lost play that no one has ever seen or even read, really. So Dr. and Martha are intrigued. But I find out that it is something created by these Carianite witches, where in the last words of the final page will open a portal for something. Yeah. Like I said, there's I paid attention, but not enough to really know a lot. Yeah. But yeah, I like when the Doctor, like, he confronts the old lady witch, because she's like, or she confronts them basically, because she has all three of them, and she kills this one guy just by touching him, and then she threatens all of them, and I'm just like who's gonna die first? Martha freaks the fuck out, but like, I'm like, well, the Doctor steps up, but it's like, Shakespeare is safe, right? Because if she kills him, then he can't finish the play, right? You know? I wish I could remember why they want this play to be finished. It's some kind of evil thing. So the big showdown happens. Yes, I said this was going to be short. Big showdown happens, and Shakespeare has to say his own words. I do like the back and forth. We get back into that between him and the Doctor. At one point, Doctor quotes another poet by saying, I don't remember what it was. Says something. He's like, I'll have that. And he's like, no, you can't take that. It's someone else's. And then later, he's like, he says another one. The play is a thing. Yes, that you can have. And later he mentions the Sycorax. He goes, Sycorax. I'll have that one as well. He's like, I should get paid for this or something like that. Like, yeah. What are you going to do, Sycorax? I don't know. So Shakespeare uses his own words to negate this spell and send everything into this crystal ball, including all the copies of Love Labours Won, which is why it's now a lost play. See? History happens. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but a Doctor Who's way of explaining otherworldly things is that they're all aliens. So you got the ghosts. And the other episode that has Charles Dickens, another writer, in Series 1, they're ghosts. One other thing will show up. It's not until now that Russell T Davies is just like, yeah, there's ghosts, and there's other things now that he's doing this weird thing, but you can kind of connect it to now that when the 14th Doctor invoked that superstition at the end of the world, that he kind of changed the way that things are happening, so things are different now. But like here, every explanation is that they're aliens. Well, it does get overdone. They don't do it a lot, so it works, and I kind of like that, you know. Yeah. So, when they first show up, though, he says that Martha's from a place called Fredonia. But by the end, Shakespeare's figured out, oh, he's from the future, and you're travel through time and space, and you're an alien. He's like, well, you're smart. He's like, not hard to figure out, you know. So, yeah, the Doctor and Martha are going to go take the crystal ball with him because he's still with the witches and he still got it. Little trinket. Kind of like in Erie, Indiana, where Marshall and Simon, Marshall would take a little memento from each one. I got to go through those episodes because I started once upon a time ago and I should go back to them. They take a little trinket from each of the episodes, like a little to file away, you know. So you kind of like that. He takes that, you know. Whatever. Yeah, and then we have a gag at the end that does come back eventually in the 50th anniversary special, The Day of the Doctor. Here, when he's saying goodbye, when the Doctor and Martha are saying goodbye to Shakespeare, two guys come in. Well, first of all, Shakespeare says he's going to work on Hamlet next. So Hamlet, and he says, two guys walk in and go, "She's here. She heard about what happened, and she's here." And it's Queen Elizabeth I, who immediately sees the Doctor and says, off with his head. What happened with the Doctor and Queen Elizabeth I? Well, we got to get all the way past Series 7. 6? 7. 7? 7. Past Series 7 to talk about that. But that does come back eventually. But Martha is not there, so it's kind of, I don't know, the companion at the time. I don't know. But the Doctor seems interested to find out what happened. I'm intrigued to learn how. And then they get in, Arrow hits the thing, and he... This episode's fine. The Annie episode was kind of the best part for me. It hints at Queen Elizabeth I thing. But, like, yeah, when going through here, I remembered this one. There's another episode in this season, 42. even reading through the synopsis before. Try that again. Even reading through the synopsis before, like when I was going through all these before I started, like back when I was doing series 2. I was at the end of series 2, maybe even in The Runaway Bride. I was looking through all these, got to 42, and I read through it, and I went, I don't remember that at all. I don't remember 42 at all. I don't know. Maybe I just spaced it when we watched it. We shall see when I get to it. But up next is the one that's decent. I think it's decent. It concludes a loose trilogy that was The End of the World in Series 1 and New Earth in Series 2. So here we have Gridlock in Series 3 that will kind of conclude that, and we'll once again meet our old friend, the Face of Bo, who has been previously, and it has been foreshadowed that his third encounter with the Doctor shall be the last, so we shall see where that goes. But anyway, get ready for future stuff, Cat Ladies, and the Face of Bo, and Gridlock, which is the next episode, and I will do that tomorrow because I'm tired and I'm going to go lay down and watch some TV. So, thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on this episode? Comment so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scott, and I'll see you in the next one.